Okay, I'm actually surprised that this is balancing on first try. Usually getting my camera to stay still and balance somewhere is such a task. I'm actually only using natural light, like I don't feel the need to use my ring light. So as the last video in this series, this is so weird. I literally remember starting this series a year ago with the video on Libra season back in September when I got done with traveling and was back in New York. So we'll get into the video, but it's a little bit nostalgic for me to have the final video be my own sun sign in this whole series, and looking back at the playlist and seeing every different location I've been in to talk about every sign and thinking, oh, this is where I'm gonna end up being. And then literally every 2 months I have to fucking move locations basically, which is just so crazy. But happy to talk about my own sun sign, the best, there's no best, but happy to talk about my own sun sign, which is Virgo, because I feel like Virgo is pretty understood. It's not Scorpio, it's not Gemini where it gets mass hate for no reason. I feel like Virgo is pretty understood. And I think that goes to the very deliberate, very specific, very by the book nature of Virgo, where there's not a whole lot of guessing. So firstly, Virgo is an earth sign. The earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, we're grounded, we're distinct, we are loyal, we're dependable, and Virgo's probably the least dependable, not for any flaky reason, but due to changing plans or seeing other options reasons, which I'll get into. But earth signs are, you see what you, what you get is what you see is what you get. There's not a whole lot of guessing insanity with the earth signs, unless of course their chart has a hell of a lot of fire or air, for example. Virgo is also a mutable sign, meaning that it is the transition between seasons. All of the signs that are a transition between seasons represent adaptability, change, or flexibility. Virgo is a little bit interesting because it's an earth sign, but it is adaptable and changeable. So it's it stays according to plan, but there might be a better plan to switch to. That's a good analogy for why Virgo is both flexible, but still an earth sign, where it's not flaky, it's not all over the place scattered. But if they're that meme of a guy pointing to a whiteboard with all the things everywhere, that is a Virgo, with the way that they're grounded in what they're saying, and there's an argument, but the plans may need to change to be ideal, and they're willing to adapt, and they're not hugely stubborn. I as a Virgo am, because I have a lot in Leo, so I will die on my hill, even if, I'll die on my hill. Actually, no, I'd say that philosophically I'm always open to change, but in terms of, my life and everything, I'll die on that hill. Versus the Virgo alone. Virgo alone is an archetype. Not you as a Virgo, not you as a Virgo Mars. Virgo as an archetype is very adaptable, because it doesn't care about the credit, it just wants things to be done well. That's a really big hallmark of Virgo, is the humility. I cannot identify with this. I have too much in Leo. But Virgo on its own, I would say this, you can argue with me, I think Virgo on its own, without any other signs interfering, is the most humble sign. Because they're so concerned with the work and with getting things done properly that they don't want the credit, they don't want to leave their work. They're not like Pisces, where Pisces might not care about getting the credit, but Pisces wants to feel good. Virgo literally just wants the job done well, period, and boom. So this humility in terms of I don't care about the credit, I don't need the recognition, I just want the job to speak for itself, is a hallmark Virgo trait, where the competence, the eloquence, and the dependability of a Virgo to get it done well, even if it's not the way that you asked for necessarily, is really, really hallmark. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the communicator, the transmitter, the little guy messenger, flying around. So Virgo is extremely fast and with their thinking and expressing themselves. Virgo being ruled by Mercury, Mercury is also exalted in Virgo. So Mercury tendencies of being communicative, being talkative, being smart, is a really big part of Virgo. Mercury does the best in Virgo, hands down. It's both exalted and at home there. And it really goes to show that if Mercury in Gemini, because Mercury rules Gemini too, Mercury in Gemini is the word vomit, think, out to the world brainstorm. Mercury in Virgo is the author editing down the manuscript into what the final form will be. There's a lot of this innate quality of pruning down or being critical with Virgo, because it's also the season of the harvest. It's when summer turns into fall, and we decide, in ancient times, what food to save, what to, start stocking up on. So there is this, back to school feeling, getting it together. It's taking all the fun, or taking all the information and really condensing it down and weeding out what is extraneous. Virgo people, and people with Mercury in Virgo especially, are really, really eloquent speakers, and very, very much they don't say anything unless it's useful. I, as someone with Mercury and Leo, cannot do this. You know, I will go on and on and on and on and on and just, you know, talk because it's fun. Mercury and Virgo people are really admirable for not speaking until there's like a deliberate reason for them to say something. And that also can mean that when they have something mean to say, it hurts like hell because they didn't go on this crazy tangent. They said the one thing that they knew would trigger you. The, of course, downside of Virgo is the same energy, which is hypercriticism and chasing their own tail of perfection. And Virgos can be really, really cruel with their criticism and not realize how cruel it is, because in their own mind, they're so hard on themselves that even being half as rude to other people, to them feels very kind, and to you, if you're not as hard on yourself or hard on the world, can be quite jarring. I know this because anytime I open up about the way I talk to myself or comments about myself, you know, appearance, anything like that, people are shocked. People are like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And they think, you know, I'm doing it because woe is me. I'm like, no, this is objective. This is objective fact that I should improve this. I should, you know, do this, this, or that. And often people, you know, think like you're being dramatic. And I'm like, no, this is a normal criticism. Like, I did something wrong on the set of a music video that I did not know was like not proper etiquette, basically. I literally was like, I don't know if I can work with, you know, I don't know if I can do this ever again. And people are like, what in the fucking world? You were a joy to work with. You're so focused, so easy. You just literally didn't know about this one thing. And so like, you can fix it. And to me, I mean, I'm okay now, but like, oh my God, this absorbed me. And I was like, that is unacceptable. That I didn't know that I didn't know, kind of thing. So similarly, Virgos can put that same energy on other people of like, why the hell didn't you do this? This is not acceptable. This is improper. This is lazy. And other people may be like, whoa, 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 you're being way too hard on me right now. And to a Virgo, it's like, what? Like, this is normal thought. That's why Venus is in its fall in Virgo, because if Venus wants to love and be harmonious, like Venus in Virgo is like loving through criticism or loving through improvement, and not everyone wants that as their love language in a partner. I can say that, you know, I appreciate a good, you know, Virgo talking to kind of thing, because I'm just like, okay, give it to me, like let it rip, even though it hurts like hell. So I think the Virgo upsides and downsides are super, super clear cut, with the dry dependability, behind the scenes administrative amazingness. They're great secretaries, they're great researchers, they're great. I'd say that Scorpio is more investigative, Virgo is more methodical and monotonous with the way that they work. The downside is the same thing, where there can be a dryness, there can be a coldness, and there can be a criticism with the way that they live their entire life. I don't think that you know, people might give Virgos negative qualities that aren't there. Like if you have a Virgo that's behaving erratic or crazy or emotional, that's due to other things in their chart. The Virgo alone will, in their triggers, be very critical and, you know, might sabotage the work or might do things that are hindering the work that they're doing as a way to slow you down. But a Virgo alone is much more you know, methodical and deliberate than they are emotional or malicious. And, you know, I think Virgo men can get a bad rap for like being feminine in certain ways because they're not overly aggressive usually. They're usually very like, if anything, they're just very dry with the way they interact. They're not fighters. So I think that Virgo men can get a really bad rap for just being like, I don't know, like feminine, which I don't think is a bad thing at all. I don't think it's particularly feminine. It's just that they don't really fight. I also find that Virgo men cross their legs a lot. They're like, I noticed that my whole life. I'm like, Virgo men cross their legs a lot. Virgo women, I think, because Virgo traits are so feminine, I think that it usually isn't that something gets a lot of hate. I don't find that as a, like, my innate Virgo tendencies of like, I don't want to say perfectionism because I'm not a perfectionist. Fuck it. If it gets by, it gets by. I don't give a shit. But like, being hard on myself and stuff like that, that is, you know, traditionally a female trait. So it's not that men can be hard on themselves, but in like the hypercritical, like body stuff and things like that, or just hyper awareness of like aesthetics, that is like a very, you know, associated with women kind of trait. So I think that the flaws of Virgo are much easier to deal with, you know, as a woman, because they're more just like, oh, yeah, that happens. Not to say that, you know, Virgos can't have difficulties, you know, across gender. I'm not even gonna get into that, but I think you know what I'm saying, where Virgo itself is like the virgin, the maiden. Like it's a super, super like feminine on the in the field energy that like caters kind of well to being like, if you're like me and you're just kind of like conventional girl, like it works pretty well. I think I don't have any qualms about being a Virgo. I think that, you know, we can be our own worst enemy and we can be really, really I don't think bitchy is the right word, because we're not in the same way of like a Cancer or a Leo where we're like, listen to me, because if you're a Virgo and you're doing that, you have Leo in your chart or whatever. I have Leo in my chart and I don't even do that. But there's an amount of like coldness and aloofness that can feel almost Aquarian in the not being caring and being very like, this is the rules. Like you're out. Like the Virgo is very much the person in the movie where it's like after hours and the main character is like, please let me in. Like, I'm sorry I was late. Please let me in. And the Virgo's like, no. Like, you were late. I don't care. Like, the Virgo can be such a stickler for rules, and Hermione is like textbook Virgo. Like in Harry Potter, Hermione's textbook Virgo. So as a way to wrap up this entire like series, I think that that's a good job of describing Virgo, because there's not a whole lot of guessing. I'm gonna be honest. The Virgo is not mysterious. Like, they might keep things in, but they'll be like, I'm not talking about that. Like, they're not. They're pretty much what you see is what you get, and you want a Virgo on your team. You might not want them out with you at a party, because they might be like just waste of space. I know I am when I'm out, but to have on your team, you know, I will be there, I will do my job, I will not complain, I will die in the cold, I will get the job done. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you're a Virgo, let me know down below. If you like, hate, whatever Virgos do, let me know down below as well. I don't think I was particularly hard on Virgos or great about them, just because I feel like I said, what you see is what you get. I'm on my way to a birthday party now for a Leo, the last few days of Leo season, but this will come out on Virgo season, August 23rd. Yeah, I'll release this then, like 2 days. So yeah, let me know down below, and I guess we're done with the Sun Sign series. Let me know what series you would like next. See you in the next one.